One of the challenges that knowledge seekers, beginners, beginning knowledge seekers face is the application of what they learn. You know, every day we learn for those that are knowledge seeking, always trying to seek for a way to improve their life, to become a better version of their life. They go extra mile apart from the experiences they acquire. So they go extra mile, go to YouTube and make researches, read some books and all of those things. One of the problems I personally faced is how to apply what I have learned and when to acquire a certain kind of knowledge. Sometimes, while growing, I was surrounded by a lot of books. My father equipped me with a lot of books while growing, and because I fell in love, not that I was pushed to read, I fell in love with books, and I was reading different kinds of books, and I was being guided from the childhood. Then, at some point in my life, I started seeking for any kind of book to read, and then and some most times I was applying the wrong knowledge at the wrong time. There are so the problem I faced is how to apply some kind of knowledge. So there is timing. It's just like you've not made your first 100,000. You want to read a book about how to become a billionaire, right? You're going to get it wrong because every level comes with a devil. So if let's say for instance you want to make your first 100,000 naira and you go and read how to be a billionaire, you're going to apply the wrong knowledge. These people that tell you not to hustle when it's not for those who were born into wealth. Some are born into wealth. They tell you don't hustle, don't work hard. You use your mind. Everything starts from the scratch, start from 100,000. So a clear study is when I reached that I read reach that for that. I didn't think it twice. At that moment, I just discovered that school is not important. That school is a scam. All I have to do is to quit. I have to quit school and go and pursue money. So, and at that point, working towards that step, I discovered that I have to come back to the. I read another book that made me to come back to school, and then I have to go back to school, right? So you see that when you want to apply a certain kind of knowledge, you have to know your limit. Where are you at that level of knowledge? So we have different levels of knowledge. It's either you're a beginner, or you're an intermediate, or you become a professional, or you become a master. So you have to know your level. If you've not read books, 100 books, sorry to say it, you've not read up to 100 books, you can't start reading some certain kind of. You start from novel. If I give birth to my kids today, the first thing I'll do is to start with equipping them with children book. There's a book, a kind of series, lantern series that we used to read then. Our master and his king and all of that. As we were reading, till we got to a point, we now started reading things fall apart. Um, no longer at ease, man of the people, Chinua Achebe series. Then you go to Wole Soyinka. If you journey from Chinua Achebe to Wole Soyinka level without going through the Ngugi wa Thiong'o set, these set pieces. If you don't do it, if you have not gone through that, if you read the wrong book, that is why social media is very, very dangerous because most times they force knowledge into you. We are in the knowledge and information era. So they push knowledge that you are not supposed to consume and consume those knowledge. That kind of knowledge can actually kill you. So for today, I would tell you that best, the application, knowledge is different from wisdom. Application of knowledge is wisdom. So if you don't know that you have to, the first thing is to know your level, where you are starting from. Know your level, know whether you're a beginner, know whether you are an intermediate, know whether you are a professional, or know whether you're a master. Now, you still even have grandmasters, you know. There's one man yesterday advising a set of wealthy individuals. I was telling them that if you how if you were able to go to school and study accounting, law, how to be a professor for 4 years, why can't you use that um 4 years also to study how to make money, right? So he was telling them that there are different levels and there are different levels to these different levels. So today I encourage you, please try to know your level of knowledge before you can consume another. First of all is to do what we call auditing. Audit yourself. Know what you know and what are your belief systems. What is your philosophy at this particular moment? And then from there you start growing into knowledge, and from the knowledge then to application. Thank you very much. That's all I want to talk to you about this morning.